Does it feel like your mind is a runaway train, constantly chugging with thoughts you just can't seem to stop? Let me tell you a story about a young man named Marco, who felt exactly the same way. Marco's mind was a whirlwind. It was a battlefield of past regrets and future anxieties. He'd lie awake at night, replaying embarrassing moments from years ago, or worrying about what might go wrong tomorrow, next week, or even 10 years from now. His mind felt like a relentless storm, and he was lost at sea with no land in sight. There was no peace, no quiet, just a constant, exhausting mental chatter. He felt trapped in his own head, and the weight of it all was becoming unbearable. He yearned for just a single moment of true silence, a brief escape from the noise. Desperate for a solution, Marco began to hear whispers of a wise old man who lived in a remote, quiet village nestled high in the mountains. People said this man held the secret to a peaceful mind. Filled with a glimmer of hope, Marco decided he had to find him. He imagined the old man giving him a magical chant or a secret technique that would instantly silence the storm inside. This journey wasn't just a trip, it was a pilgrimage. He traveled for days, crossing rivers and climbing steep hills, his desire for inner peace pushing him forward with every step. The further he traveled from his busy life, the more he hoped he was getting closer to the tranquility he so desperately craved. Finally, he arrived at the village and found the wise man sitting peacefully under a large, ancient tree. Marco rushed to him, bowing deeply, and poured out his heart. He explained the constant noise in his head, the regrets that haunted him, and the fears that paralyzed him. He begged the old man, "Please teach me how to find peace. How can I stop my mind from racing?" The old man listened patiently, his eyes calm and knowing. He didn't offer a magic word or a secret mantra. Instead, he simply smiled, stood up, and beckoned Marco to follow him to his humble home. Inside, the old man handed Marco a simple glass, filled to the very brim with water. "I have a task for you," he said gently. "I want you to walk through the entire village, from one end to the other, and return here without spilling a single drop of this water." Marco was confused. He had traveled all this way for a chore? He thought, what does this have to do with my restless mind? But he saw the seriousness in the old man's eyes and agreed to the task. He took the glass, his hands trembling slightly, and began his walk. As he stepped out into the village, he focused all his attention on the glass. The water shimmered, threatening to spill over with every tiny movement. He walked slowly, deliberately, his eyes locked on the surface of the water. He was aware of the cobblestones under his feet, only to ensure he didn't stumble. He heard the distant chatter of the marketplace, the laughter of children playing, and the barking of a dog. But these sounds were just a faint background hum. His entire world had shrunk to the rim of that glass and the precious water it held. Every breath was timed with his steps. Nothing else mattered. The past and future faded away. There was only the now, this step, and the next, and the water. He successfully navigated the winding paths, the busy square, and the narrow alleys, and finally returned to the old man's home, proud that not a single drop had been spilled. He handed the glass back to the old man, a triumphant smile on his face. "I did it!" he exclaimed. The old man smiled back warmly and asked a simple question. "Tell me, Marco, as you walked through the village, did you see the beautiful flowers in Mrs. Chun's garden? Did you hear the merchants arguing over the price of silk? Did you notice the young couple sneaking a kiss behind the well?" Marco stood there, stunned. He blinked, trying to recall his journey. "No," he admitted slowly. "I didn't see or hear any of that. I was just focused on the water. I was so afraid it would spill." The wise old man placed a hand on Marco's shoulder. "Exactly," he said, his voice full of kindness. "When your attention was fully on your task, fully in the present moment, there was no room in your mind for anything else. There was no space for past regrets or future worries. The noise of the village was there, but you did not hear it, because your focus was here and now." Marco's eyes widened in realization. The old man continued, "Peace is not found by chasing away your thoughts. Peace is what remains when you anchor your attention in the present." Your mind became calm not because the world went quiet, but because you did. This glass of water is your life. The present moment is your anchor. Like Marco, we all carry a glass of water. When we allow our minds to be consumed by what happened yesterday or what might happen tomorrow, we spill our energy, our joy, our peace. But when we bring our full attention to this moment, right here, right now, the storm subsides. The present is the only place where life truly happens. Peace isn't a destination you have to travel to. It's a state of being you can access at any time simply by being present. Your breath, the feeling of the ground beneath your feet, the task right in front of you. These are your anchors. When your mind feels like a storm, don't fight the waves. Instead, focus on your anchor. Let the past be a lesson and the future a possibility, but let the present be your home. Peace begins with presence. If this story helped you breathe a little deeper today, subscribe and stay with us. One story at a time, we grow calmer, wiser, and more present.